Jill Naylor, Director of Digital Marketing for Ace Hardware Home Services, and I am here with our very own helpful home service guy, Chris Wilson.
Hello.
Chris, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
So for those of our viewers who don't know who you are yet, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience in the services industry?
Yep. So I've been with the company for almost 20 years. I have been in home services for most of my professional career and grew up, working for my father, who was a contractor. So I've been in and around the trades and service industry pretty much my whole life. Here at the company, I started out in sales, went to the operations side. I was the installation manager for a bunch of years, and have kind of settled back in on the sales side and training, and also playing a role in helping share what we do with you guys, regarding our industry and our company.
Yeah, and we're lucky to have you. So, Chris, we know that heating and cooling systems are at the heart of everyone's home, and they are essential to a homeowner's routine and their comfort, their day-to-day comfort. But unless someone is a heating and cooling professional like yourself, it can be a bit of a mystery sometimes on how a system works, where their system's located, how they should maintain it, and how they can keep it running efficiently over time. So what we decided to do was reach out to our social media followers and some of our customers and say, hey, what are some frequently asked questions or things you want to know about your heating and cooling system, so that we can help them be more informed, make more informed decisions, and help them gain a better understanding of how their HVAC system works and the role it plays in their home. Right. So are you up for answering some of those questions?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So our first question is about maintenance. Annual maintenance for heating and cooling systems. Is it really necessary? And if so, why?
Yeah, absolutely. The analogy that we use most often is to a vehicle, to your car. So important that you're changing the oil, so important that you're rotating the tires, that you're doing those scheduled maintenances. And the better you are about that, the longer that vehicle is going to last, the more reliable it's going to be. Same goes for your HVAC system. For both heating and cooling, whether it's one system that's doing both or whether it's separate systems in your house, so important that those are looked at annually, that the electrical connections are checked, that the refrigerant levels are checked, that we're making sure that the filter is clean. There's a whole laundry list, a whole checklist of items that are checked. The unit gets cleaned, the coils get cleaned, make sure the flue is clear and that the good combustion is happening in the system, good gas pressure. All these things are checked to make sure that it's running at peak efficiency, that there aren't any issues. And if there's anything that we can catch on the front end before it's an issue, that's also a big part of what an annual maintenance is.
All right, question number 2 is about longevity of air conditioning systems. So how long do central AC systems usually last, and how can you help extend the life of your system?
Yeah, absolutely. So an AC system is probably somewhere right now in the 12 to 15 year range. We see them last longer, right? Again, going back to that maintenance question, if people are diligent about their maintenances, that system is inherently going to last longer. A big thing that homeowners can do, and that's going to make sure your system is working well and effectively, is making sure that outdoor unit is clear of bushes, is clear of foliage, is clear of dryer lint, right? That's a big one. So a lot of times, unfortunately, the air conditioner ends up close to where that dryer vent is, and all of that lint comes out of the dryer vent and just sucks on the outside of that air conditioner. Anytime those little fins on that air conditioner are blocked, we're losing capacity, right?
Yeah, that's great. So there's, a set duration of, let's say, 12 to 15 years that an air conditioner is going to last, but homeowners can really help to impact, where that can land.
Absolutely.
Next question, we're going to talk a little bit about refrigerant. So if you watch the news or read up on HVAC or just go to Google or go to Microsoft Bing, you can always see that there are refrigerant changes that are happening. So refrigerant changes that have recently happened or maybe upcoming in the future, what does that mean for someone's existing system, and does it mean they have to replace it?
Yeah. So the answer is no. It doesn't mean that you have to replace your system per se. As long as your system's functioning normally and working fine, no one's going to tell you that you have to get rid of that system and move to the new refrigerant. As those systems age out, those R22 systems, or even now those 410A systems, and components start to fail, we don't necessarily have the parts or the equipment availability to replace those. And so as those parts fail, then folks are having to move towards the new refrigerant because it's been a mandated change. Manufacturers are no longer making the 410A or the previous R22 parts, and we're moving to that new refrigerant. And it's a constant evolution, right, to find something that's more environmentally friendly, so that, you know, as these systems age out and they start to leak that refrigerant gas into the atmosphere, it's less threatening to the environment, to the ecosystem.
Got it. So we're going to move on to ductless systems.
Okay.
So the question is, how does a ductless system work? Why is it considered to be so efficient?
Mm-hmm.
And is it more efficient than a standard central air conditioning system?
Okay. Yeah, the biggest difference is, you said it, it's ductless, right? We don't have any ductwork, right? It's a single point of entry into the space. We're blowing air across the coil and sending it right back into the space. So that's one of the things that makes it really efficient, is there's no delivery system. We don't lose air out of a duct system that's in an attic space in an unconditioned area. All of the air that's passing over that coil is being taken right back into the living space, and all of it's going towards heating or cooling that space. You're also able to use it in a room by room case. Whereas with a ducted system, when you turn your central air conditioning on, unless you have zoning and multiple thermostats, it's all or nothing, right? We're either heating or cooling the whole house. So as far as efficiency goes, they can be more efficient. Again, it really just depends on the equipment selection, whether it's a standard ducted system or it's a ductless system. We run the gamut of efficiency. Right now, we're in the, you know, for a term that people might be familiar with is SEER rating. When we talk about SEER rating, we're up in the 20s now, and for the most efficient systems. So whether that's a ducted system or a ductless. So again, there's a range.
Excellent. So we're sticking with the AC trend. How much does a standard central AC system help with humidity in the home?
Okay.
And how do you know if a dehumidifier is needed in your space?
Yeah. Okay. So a central air conditioning system or a mini split system is not a dehumidifier, right? It dehumidifies by nature of what it's doing, right? It's removing heat, it's removing humidity from the home, but it is not targeting a certain humidity level. It's targeting temperature. If you still struggle that you're reaching set point, right, in temperature, but your humidity levels are still in the 60, 70, 80% range, that's an indicator that you're going to need a standalone dehumidifier. You've got a separate issue in your house. What I always tell people too is, rather than just throwing the kitchen sink at it and putting in a big dehumidifier to get rid of that moisture, let's also look at the house and say, okay, why do we have high levels of humidity? Rather than fix the symptom, let's fix the source of the issue.
Got it. So bringing out an expert is probably beneficial if someone feels like they just can't get the humidity out of their home, or there's still high humidity levels, to bring someone out to say, like, hey, here's what could be the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it's a combination of things, right? It may be, yes, let's figure out why you're getting humidity in the house, but it may also be, in order to create comfort, we still need to have that standalone dehumidifier. And the big difference is that dehumidifier is targeting a humidity level. It doesn't care about temperature. It's targeting a specific humidity level. So in conjunction with a central air conditioning system, if you have those problems, we can create really, really great comfort because we're at the temperature that you want and we're at the humidity level that you want.
Sounds ideal, especially in Philadelphia, South Jersey, where the humidity is,
yeah,
is
absolutely.
Crazy. Got it. Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to talk through these important issues and topics about heating and cooling systems. I think it was extremely helpful in helping our customers and our viewers feel more informed about the systems in their home and how they work. If you guys have any other questions that Chris didn't get to answer this time, feel free to drop those questions in the comments, and we can make another one of these videos and answer some additional questions from our viewers. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more helpful content to help keep your home safe, comfortable, and efficient. We'll see you next time.